synergy. Things happen together. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We tend to think that political and social change requires that we organize movements. Remember when we always talked about the movement?
Sort of. That was really before my time.
Yeah, right. So anyway, synergy is about multiple things happening together to create something they can't accomplish alone. It's one of the main organizing principles living in the social organism. Just one, by the way, but for our purposes, it will help to understand it.
Yeah, I get it. You and I, we do something together. Get better results than if we do it like, say, alone. Plus, some other people we don't even know. They do stuff and interact with our stuff synergistically. Say, yo, is that a word?
I think so, but you get the basic idea. The thing is that we can count on it. In fact, we need to become highly aware of it. Think of us as trying to navigate the seas of history. In these seas are currents, and if we can ride some of these currents, stuff happens in a better way than if we are trying to steer across them or against them.
Oh, wait.
No. So we have to learn to make mental maps of the seas of social existence, and then find that place we want to work with and with whom. Keeping in mind, of course, that we aren't alone, and that others have similar goals, and it all works together synergistically.
Okay, I get it, I guess. But can you explain a little why this works, especially when people aren't really organized into mass movements?
Well, actually, mass movements are kind of dangerous. The more the mass, the less the consciousness. You get mobs and violence. Small groups, on the other hand, appreciating that each other exists, do better. They concentrate more on what they really can do and less on ideology. Now the phrase, think globally, act locally, understand this. Now look.
Wait,
No. Just let me finish. Try it this way. Lots of people today want to decide for themselves what is true and what is right to do. Think of this impulse, a very common modern impulse, as a kind of emerging social force in the evolution of human consciousness, or about human nature, as some might say. But everyone doesn't always agree about what is right, yes?
Yeah, well...
No, just wait. Yet what happens is that when a lot of people are struggling to do what is right, and not just hiding under the covers, you get a lot of right things being done in a lot of places. The way the social organism works in a synergistic sense is that all these right things add up to something more than the individuals can often imagine. Everyone has a place. The place right where they are. And in that place they seek to do what Plato might have called the good. Just a minute. This idea of the good is like a wonderful landscape seen from many directions. So each one of us, seeking to do the good, helps bring this wonderful landscape more and more into real social existence. Each of us is like a kind of small sun. Picture this, shining into the social organism, our own striving for goodness.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right, I can see that. But how do we know what the good is?
Well, everyone has their own way, of course, but if I was trying to put the how of it into words, it has to do with when we think with our hearts and not just our heads. If we think just with our heads, we get kind of a cold and calculating idea. Generally one more selfish. But we need to think with our hearts.
What are you talking?
Yes, with our hearts. That is, we need to think in a warmer way, more empathetic, more caring of the other person, the thou. So we will the good and think with our hearts. Everyone can do that, don't you think? Or at least try.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Don't need nobody to tell us what to do. We do our own thing, and if we will the good and think with our hearts, something happens all over the country or world because of this synergy or synergy, whatever principle. Something we cannot even imagine.
Right? You got it, HEX-MAN. Oh, one other thing. Ever see the movie 6 Degrees of Separation?
Nah, what's it about?
Well, this story's kind of funny, but it has this idea behind the title. The idea is that between ourselves and any other person, there are only 6 relationships. You know someone, and they know someone else, and so on for 6 relationships until Each of us is connected to any other person in the world by only 6 such relationships, or 6 degrees of separation.
What, man? Crap, that can't be true now. You think that between me and the president are only 6 people separated? Shit, no.
I know, it's just an idea. Maybe some math people invented the idea, but there is some truth. We are connected in ways we don't see. You know me, I was in Vietnam and I knew the CIA guy. Maybe now he works in Washington and his boss knows the senator and the senator knows the president.
Christ, that is weird.
Yeah, I know. But think about it in a different way, along the lines of what we have been doing with the synergy idea. These connections are real. We do influence each other. You need something from me, or I need something from you, then these relationships become important. Things spread like splashes on a pond. Who knows what energy flows along these connections?
Cool. Check it out. By the way, JC, I need a favor. One of those connections you was just talking about. Got a little package I need delivered to someone. Can the Shadow Warriors handle it?
Hacker business?
Yeah.
No problem.